This video about Greek mythology was uploaded 12 months ago and has earned this channel an estimated $80,000 just from one video. And if we search up this topic on YouTube, as you can see, there are many other videos on the same topic gaining millions to hundreds of thousands of views. Just like this one, which was only posted 2 months ago. And according to vidIQ, this exact topic has a monthly search volume of 274,000 views. Though the competition may seem high, if you go over to matching terms, as you can see, there are other similar topics you could create a video about with high search volume and low competition. So in this video, I'll show you all the steps you need to do in order to be able to create a video like this for your own faceless channel. And to prove to you this method works, as a sneak peek of the video that I created.
For centuries, the ancient tales of gods and monsters, of heroes and legends, have captivated the imagination of humankind. Greek mythology.
Since we already know what video we're going to be creating, which is the entire story of Greek mythology explained, we would need to go ahead to get the script. Now, in order to get the script, you'd want to come on over to ChatGPT and then you'd ask it for this prompt. In the form of chapters and points, give me the topic for a video called The Entire Story of Greek Mythology Explained, and hit enter. And just so you know, you don't have to create this exact video. You can go ahead to create other similar videos to this topic of Greek mythology. So rather than saying Greek mythology explained, you could come on over to Google and then let's take out the word mythology and just add in some blank spaces like this. And now, as you can see, there are different topics we could make videos about. For example, Greek mythology explained, Greek gods explained. You could go through all of these topics, check out the competition, and see which one you'd want to make a video about. But coming on back over to ChatGPT, as you could see, ChatGPT has gone ahead to give us a different chapters, or I would like to call it sections, that we can go about creating our script for. And this way we have a better understanding of what exactly our script would be about. So as you can see, it says chapter 1, creation of the worlds and the gods, and then it has the 3 different sections of the chapter that I will talk about. So the first section will be about this, the second section will be about this, and so forth and so on. Doing it this way ensures that your video actually covers all the topics and has all the necessary data. And now once you have this done, you can now move on to the second step, which is generating the script for your video. So in order to generate the scripts, what you'd want to do is open another tab for ChatGPT, and the first thing you'd need to do is generate the intro. This is one of the most important parts of helping your video go viral, because this is where people will either get hooked into watching your video or get hooked into clicking off your video. So in this other ChatGPT tab, what you'd want to do is ask it for this prompt. Write me a YouTube script for a video called The Entire Story of Greek Mythology Explained. Write it in the form of a suspenseful, thrilling documentary. Start with a brief explanation of topic, then the hook being questions, then introduction of video, and hit enter. Now, in case you may be wondering why I made the second part of this prompt like this, you do this from doing your own research. What you'd want to do is watch these different videos and see exactly the format they're using for the introductions of this video. This is the format that I've seen these other channels use, hence why it is in this prompt. So you could just copy and paste this exactly. And now, as you can see, ChatGPT has gone ahead to generate us the intro. If we take a closer look at this, it has followed exactly what we wanted. As you can see, it has briefly explained the topic like we asked it to, in a bit of a thrilling documentary way, and then it has inserted the different questions that we wanted to. How did it all begin? Who truly ruled the heavens? These are some good hooking questions. And then it goes into explaining the video. Today we unravel it all, and then it says what the video is. And now that we have the intro, we can now begin generating the first chapter of our video. So in order to do this, we're going to go ahead to ask ChatGPT this prompt. Generate me the first section of my script using this outline as a guide for the information to include. And then in this quotation marks, you want to go back over to your other ChatGPT tab, and then you want to go ahead to copy the first section of your video, and then you're going to come back here and paste it in. Continuing, it says write it in a thriller documentary style, as we did with our intro. Go section by section, covering all necessary points in at least a paragraph each, and then hit enter. And now, as you can see, it has used this outline, this guide, to generate me the script of my video. Now from here, what you want to do is read through this script and make sure it is to your liking. If you feel like it's not enough information or you would need more information, something I suggest you can do is, let's just say you're using this exact prompt again. What you do is, when you paste it in, rather than pasting in the entire section, you could potentially just paste in one section at a time. For example, the section and the first point. So you can copy this, come back over to the prompt, we'll remove the complete section, and then we'll only insert this one section. Now if we hit enter, as you can see with all these paragraphs, we have a way more in-depth explanation about just this first section as compared to this previous explanation about all of the points. points. So in order to continue generating this, if you were to do it this way, you would ask it this prompt: continue generating the next section of the first chapter, because that's what it is. And then you would copy the second section, you would come back here, you would paste it in and hit enter. And as you can see, yet again, it has generated us another way in-depth explanation of this section. And then you would continue doing this for your entire video. Whether you decide to do chapter by chapter, like we did here with the first prompt, or section of a chapter by section of a chapter, like we did with the second prompt, you simply choose whichever method you prefer, whichever method you feel like gives you the better outputs. But once you've gone ahead to generate the entire script for your video, the next thing you would need to do is generate the voiceover for your video. To generate the voiceover for your video, what you'd want to do is come on over to 11 Labs. You could find the link for it in the description below. It's a tool that I use for all of my channels and that I recommend to all of my students. So once on this tool, what you want to do is go on over to where it says voices, and then you want to go to the voice library, and then from here you want to listen to all of the different voices. You could search by different categories, different languages, different accents, and there are way more filters that you could incorporate into this. But all you need to do is play the different voices until you find the one that you'd like to use in your video. So for example, this voice, John Doe.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe.
Sounds perfect. So once you found the voice that you'd want, what you'd want to do is click where it says add. I already have this voice added. And then you're just simply going to click where it says use. And then from here, you're now able to use this voice. So now that you have the voice selected, you can now begin actually generating the voiceover. So in order to generate the voiceover, you will come back on over to ChatGPT. Then you want to go ahead to copy the first part of your script. So in my case, this is the intro, the full intro. I'm going to copy it. Come back on over to 11 Labs and simply paste it in. From here, what you want to do is remove the parts of the script that aren't the actual scripts, which is all the directives. So where it says narrator, where it says a brief pause in between. Now when you're generating your script, I do recommend you don't generate more than about 2,000 words at a time, because in my personal experience it begins to sound a little strange. You can decide to generate a full 5,000 characters if you want. Just keep in mind that somewhere along the lines it might start sounding a little bit off. But once you have this in, you can go in and edit your script a little bit more to make it sound more natural. So you could remove commas where you don't think commas should be, or you could add some of them. Just edit it so that it sounds natural if it were to be spoken by a real individual. Once you've done this, all you need to do is click where it says generate speech, and then 11 Labs will go ahead to generate your voiceover for you. So let's take a little listen to what this sounds like.
But how did it all begin? Who truly ruled the heavens?
As you can see, this voiceover sounds absolutely incredible. So from here, what you then need to do is go ahead to download your voiceover to your PC. And then after you've downloaded it, you would want to go ahead and simply delete the previous voiceover that you had generated. Come on back over to ChatGPT. And then you would simply just copy your next section of your script. Come back to 11 Labs, paste it in, and follow the exact same process that we just did. And you want to keep doing this to generate the entire voiceover for your entire video. So now that you have the voiceover generated, now you need to generate the images for your video. What is it that people will actually be seeing when they watch your video? So now in order to generate the images for your video, you would need to actually read your script and figure out what images that you'd want to use for what part of your video. Now you can do this by using your own head, by just reading your first sentence and saying, okay, I've read this. I think for this, I would want to use an image of, but I know there are some people who are like, you know what, Monique, I just want this to be fully automated. I don't want to have to think about it at all. Then don't worry, we've all been there. I understand. What you can do is something as simple as this. In the same tab, you want to ask ChatGPT this prompt. Imagine you are an image generation prompt producer. Create 3 or more image prompts. For each paragraph, I will insert the paragraphs one by one and then hit enter. Now, the reason you would want to say this prompt this specific way is because you would have generated your entire script. If you simply tell it to generate the prompts, it wouldn't specifically know which part you're talking about. So you're going to say it this way, and then it's going to tell you to insert the paragraph. From here, you can go to the very first section of your script. So for example, this is my intro. I'll simply copy it and then paste it in. Now, as you can see, it has gone ahead to give me the 3 image prompts that I could utilize to create my video. So now that I understand what images I need, how exactly am I gonna go find them? Don't worry, it's pretty easy. All you want to do is come on over to Leonardo AI. You can find a link for it in the description below. And then once on Leonardo, what you want to do is come on over to where it says image creation. And then from here, you want to go back on over to ChatGPT ChatGPT, and then you're going to simply copy the prompt, and then you're going to come back to Leonardo and simply paste it in, the exact prompt. From here, you can read through your prompt and make any changes or any alterations that you think that you may need to make in order to make a better prompt for your image generation. You don't have to, you can keep it this exact way if you prefer. Then from here, what you want to do in the sidebar under advanced controls, you want to click onto the drop down arrow and click 16:9. This is the size of a YouTube video. And from here, all you need to do is hit generate. Now, as you can see, Leonardo has gone ahead and generated us two really good looking images. The only thing I will say is it missed one part of the prompt. It didn't generate us the statues of the Greek deities as mentioned in the latter part of our prompt. That's okay, AI is not perfect. So if you do come upon an issue like this, don't panic. All you simply need to do, simply remove the other aspects of your prompt that it did generate, and then leave the part that it didn't generate, and then click generate. Now, as you can see, it has gone ahead to generate me images with the Greek gods as we've asked it to. So we have both aspects of our prompt generated. And that's how you'd go about generating the images for your video. You'd go to ChatGPT, copy the explanation of the prompt images, and then you would come on over to Leonardo, paste it in, and then hit generate. And you want to keep doing this until you have all the different prompts generated for the paragraphs. And then once you have all the images for this paragraph done, what you want to do is go back on over to your script, copy your second paragraph, paste it in, be sure to remove the aspects that are not part of the narration, hit enter, and then yet again ChatGPT will give you the prompt explanations which you can then use to generate the images in Leonardo. So you want to just keep doing this till you have all your images generated for your entire video. And then once you have all your images generated, you need to download them. So in order to download them, you want to simply hover the mouse on the image that you want to utilize, and then you're going to simply click download image, just like this. So now from here, you need to do this second step of the image generation process to really make your video stand out. In order to do this, what you want to do is come on over to Immersity AI, and then from here, what you want to do is insert the image into Immersity. And now as it's been uploaded, as you can see, our once stagnant image now has a little bit more 3D motion to it. And then from here, you can go through all the different options and see which one you prefer in regards to how you would want to animate your image. And then once you have that done, all you need to do is click where it says export, click 3D motion, click next. Then you want to select the plus so that you have no watermarks. Understand that you will get free credits when you start this, but if you run out of credits, then you simply need to just top up your account and then export. And then just like that, you would have changed a simple image like this to something way more engaging like this. And this is the process you'd want to keep repeating for all of your images. But now that you have your voiceover and your AI images done, the last thing you need to gather is the background music for your video. This will really help increase the quality of your video. So in order to do this, what you want to come on over to is Beat.io. You could find a link for it in the description below. Once on Beat.io, in the search section, what you simply want to do is do a search for documentary. And then from here, you want to play all the different sounds that they have, find the ones you like. Once you found the one that you've liked, all you need to do is click download to be able to download it to your PC. So now at this point, you have everything you need to finalize your video. And all that's left to do is put all your files together to create your video. In order to do this, you could use any video editor you prefer. Some of the popular ones are CapCut, Adobe, Final Cut Pro, all these other ones, but I'm going to use my favorite tool, which is DaVinci Resolve. You could choose whichever you prefer. Once you have chosen your video editor, the first thing you'd need to do is import all the files into your editor. So that would be the voiceovers, the background music, and then all your footage as well. You'd have way more than me when you're doing this because your videos would be way longer, but for the sake of the tutorial, this is what I'm working with. So then once you have all your files uploaded, the first thing you need to do is then grab your voiceover and then upload it into your timeline. And then the next thing you need to do is put your background music into your timeline as well. And then from here, the first thing you'd want to do is reduce the sound of your background music because you don't want it to be too loud and overpowering of your voiceover. So something like -20 typically works for me. And in the case where your voiceover is longer than your background sound, all you would really need to do is simply duplicate it so that you just have the background music repeating throughout your video. Then I just cut off the extra section that I don't need. So then once you have in the voiceover and the background music, the next thing you'd simply need to do is play your video and listen to the voiceover, the audio, and see what clip that you need to insert that correlates to what is being said over the voiceover. And all you need to do to insert it is simply grab the one that you would want and insert it into your timeline. And then you would also adjust it to fit the part of the voiceover that it belongs. And then in order to add the next one, you do the same thing. You'd play the voiceover and see which clips belongs there, and then you would drag it into the timeline and adjust its desired length. And you want to just keep doing that for your entire video till you have all your clips inserted in. And then once you have all your scenes added in, the next thing I suggest you do is add transitions between your videos so that they flow way better than having a hard cut. So you can locate the different transitions wherever they are on your editor. On mine, I'm going to be using the one called Cross Dissolve. So if we take a look at what it looks like before, now I'm just simply going to drag on the cross dissolve and add it between them. So now if we take a look at what this looks like,
Heroes and legends.
That's way better and way smoother. So I'll go ahead to now just add this between all of my different scenes. You don't have to add it between all if you feel like it's too much. Just add it between the ones where you see fit. And then from here you can continuously edit the video if you want, whether that be adding some auto captions or adding some text effects. From my studying of all the other videos which went pretty viral, I noticed none of them had those auto captions on the bottom, so I don't think it's necessary. But if you do want to differentiate, then you could go ahead to do so. And then now that that's done, all I'm going to do is add a vignette over my entire video to give it a little bit more of that aesthetic feeling of what I wanted to give. So now if we take a look at the difference, it does give it just a little bit more of a history type of feel. And then you could continuously add in any other texture effects onto your video as you choose. You could do this or you could not. The choice is up to you. Just apply your full creativity to ensure that your video comes out with the best quality possible. But then once you're done, all that's left for you to do is download your video and upload it to your YouTube channel. As always, be sure to use a tool like Canva to create your thumbnails and vidIQ to help you upload your video to ensure that you get the most views possible from your very first video. And I know you did see a piece of this video in the intro, but for those of you who want to see what the rest of it looks like, let's take a look now.
For centuries, the ancient tales of gods and monsters, of heroes and legends, have captivated the imagination of humankind. Greek mythology, a world where the lines between mortal and divine blur, where power, love, betrayal, and vengeance shape the very fabric of the cosmos itself. These are not just stories, but the very essence of life, death, and everything in between. But how did it all begin? Who truly ruled the heavens? And what dark forces threatened the gods themselves? What mysteries lie in the fates of mortals, forever entangled in the whims of deities? Today, we unravel it all. This is the entire story of Greek mythology.
So if this was a video or a niche you wanted to get into, what are you waiting for? Do it! But hold on now, don't click off this video yet, because if you want to learn how to create even more types of videos or face such channels, then you need to check out this other playlist on my channel.